All right, so let's get started. Welcome everyone to the May edition of the YK Connect and Protect Lunch and Learn web series. Um, if you've joined us before, you already know Liz and I, but quick introduction. Our topic today is going to be family tech time, parental controls, and safe internet for this summer. And you guys know me. I'm Russell, president here at YK Communications. I'm also the dad of two smart, funny, and very online teenagers. And you guys know Liz.
Yeah, I'm Liz. I'm with the YK sales team. We just want to thank you for spending your time with us on your lunch period, and it will definitely be worth your time. We'll be sharing a lot of helpful tools and ideas, and even maybe a few surprises.
We always like surprises, don't we, Liz?
Always.
So let's tell us a little bit about what we're going to cover today.
So today we're going to cover basically everything that's real dangers that kids do face online in the summer. So there's two powerful tools that we're going to go over that are Experience IQ and Bark, both parental control applications that can help your kids, whether they're at home or out and about in the summer, go into different activities. Some easy parenting strategies for digital safety, and then also some fun kind of screen-free summer activities that we're going to share. We've got polls, we've got giveaways, and we have a free bark offer. So just for attending. So watch out for that. We'll go over that later in the presentation.
Absolutely. Well, let's make good use of our time. Let's go ahead and get started. So talking a little bit about some eye openers that when we look at kids and the amount of time that they're spending online, and especially in the summer. So during the school year, kids are on average in front of a screen somewhere between 7 to 8 hours every single day. And in the summer, you actually see those numbers jump up to 9 to 10 hours, or sometimes even more than that. We've got, more time online, less supervision, and kids are just, on average in the summer, they're in front of a screen a whole lot more, whether it's gaming or on a smart device. So yeah, those numbers really go up. But some of the things that are really kind of frightening and that we want to bring to everyone's attention is that 43% of kids have been chatting with a stranger online through the different games and different programs that they're on, different social media platforms. 43% of the kids have been chatting with a stranger at some point. And as a dad, I know that that absolutely terrifies me. 60% of tweens, and just so we know, whenever we say tweens, that's kind of that age range that starts anywhere between 8, 9 years old, going all the way up into the official teenage years, 13. So when we say tweens, we're kind of talking about anywhere from 8 or 9 years old and up into the teenage years. But 60% of tweens report seeing content online that made them feel uncomfortable. And just to add on to that, part of that 60%, they were not telling a parent or an adult about it. So you've got 60% of kids that are running into that kind of content and not talking to their parents about it. Lastly, you've got 1 in 3 kids that are online that are being cyberbullied. And that could be everything from being excluded from different events, having really negative talk at them, just a lot of different things. And, Liz, when we've done our community events, and I'll talk about this a little bit more, we go into a lot more of a deep dive of those scary statistics around cyberbullying, but it's pretty frightening. And I'll just throw out there, and I'll mention again before we finish today, if anyone is involved with any type of a school, a church youth group, anything that's around kids, and you guys want us to come out and talk about those details and a lot more specifics, we're happy to do that. Reach out to Liz or myself, and we'll make that happen for your organization and get that information to the parents' hands so that they're aware of it and know how to protect their kids from it. But yeah, some pretty scary statistics. What do you think, Liz?
Oh, yeah, definitely. And these aren't just big city problems. We're in small communities, and these are happening right here at home. Kids are home more, they're on their devices more, they're exploring things on the internet that, I'm not trying to show my age, but whenever I was younger, we didn't have all of that growing up. So now there's just a lot of things right at their fingertips that they can see online, and we really have to protect them more now than ever.
Absolutely. And if you feel like you're aging yourself, I'm really going to age myself and say, I'm just really glad there were not cameras on phones whenever I was a teenager.
Amen. Amen.
So, and being a dad and having two kids that are in that tween teen age, you just can't be everywhere at all times. And that's why, we wanted to talk about some of these really cool tools that we've got available, like Bark and Experience IQ, and why they're so important to have and get in front of your kids. But before we talk about that, Liz, what do you say we launch one of our poll questions?
Yes, let's get our first poll going. So, our first question is going to be, what are you most concerned about when your kids are online? Inappropriate content, online predators, cyberbullying, too much screen time, or all of the above?
Yeah. So we'll give that just a second for those responses to come in. We've got people answering the poll here. And I just know from my standpoint, being a dad, I think every single one of those comes up for me as that would be a concern. All right. What do you say we look at these results, Liz?
Yeah, let's see.
So top concern is inappropriate content at this point at 32%. We've got online predators coming in at 21%, cyberbullying tied 21, too much screen time at 5%, and all of the above is right there at 21% as well. So a good mixture, but it sounds like inappropriate content is really what is kind of leading for us today. So let's talk about some of those tools that we've got available. So first of all, we've got Experience IQ. And this is one that I personally use at home myself with the kids. Experience IQ is something that's a part of your Command IQ app. And, if you're a YK customer, you know that if you've got internet service with YK, you've probably got access to that Command IQ app. We make sure that everybody has access to that just for, it kind of gives you full control of your network. But one of the pieces that's kind of an add-on piece to that is the Experience IQ. And it's something that you can add on for just $5 a month that's going to give you things like filtering websites and apps. So you can really put some controls there for that inappropriate content. It also lets you set time limits per device. If you've got kids that are different ages, and maybe they have different bedtimes or different content restrictions, you can take that down to the individual to set those limits there. And like I just said, block or allow content based on age. They even make some recommendations on what ages are appropriate for certain content that's kind of built into that. And last but not least, we've got that pause Wi-Fi with one tap there. And Liz, I'll tell you what, you will not get kids' attention any faster than just hitting that pause Wi-Fi across all devices. And I think you could probably even take it even further than the kids. You could probably get everybody's attention in the house if you just shut the internet down.
Oh, yeah, you could get my attention for sure.
Yeah. Anything else, Liz, that you would add about Experience IQ?
I think the good thing about Experience IQ is that, with pausing the Wi-Fi, you're setting up all of your child's devices under their profile. So it groups all their devices together. So the limits you're setting for that child is going to follow through to all the devices they connect to the internet. So nowadays, you may have a cell phone, tablet, all kinds of different things that are going to be connected. So it really helps to categorize those and assign them to the right person so you can keep in control of everything.
That's right. So, and I think one of the things to remember the most about Experience IQ is it's kind of full control of everything in your network when everyone's at home. You kind of control that. So why don't we go now, Liz, and talk about Bark a little bit that kind of takes things beyond the home network.
Yes, so Bark is a really powerful monitoring app that goes beyond your home. It monitors your child's text messages, social platforms, alerts like bullying, predators, depression, explicit content. All of that is going to be alerted with Bark. You can even, monitor all of their social accounts. So, I mean, 30 plus social media platforms, and that's going to follow that account anywhere they were to log in. So that's a great thing with that.
Right. Yeah, and you bring up a good point because kids are smart these days, and they know, a lot of the different software programs are specific to the device that they're on. And so if they actually get a friend's phone and log on with their social media accounts, it follows that social media account. So, Bark's really done a lot to make sure that the protection follows the child outside of the home and even outside of the device.
Yes, and
Um,
to add on that with, with Bark, like with just texting, it's filtering out and getting those conversations that we need to be looking at on their phones without you having to go in and scan the whole conversations from throughout the day. So it's picking up on those things that are harmful and still allowing a little bit of privacy, not making it where you're having to turn your phone into your parent every night to go through it.
Right. And that goes a long way with the kids. That's what we've got agreements with the kids at home that, hey, I'm not going to look through your device all the time, but the Bark software is there. And if there's something that gets flagged and we need to talk about it, it kind of helps build that autonomy between parent and child. I think one of the things that I've also been really impressed with Bark is that even things that are in screenshots, Bark is smart enough to read the text and even analyze what's going on in the photo to know if there's inappropriate content or anything like that it needs to pick up on and send an alert. So I've really been impressed with it when using it with my own kids. But yeah, so Bark is something that typically, guys, it's $14 a month. And it's something that we're actually going to give you guys the opportunity today to try out for 3 months for free. But we just want you guys to get a taste of it, see how easy it is to use, see how powerful of a tool it is. And we'll talk about kind of taking advantage of that promo later. But it's a lot for $14 a month. And I think one of the other things, Liz, that we need to talk about is that that's for the entire family. So whether you've got one child or you've got 3, 4, 5 kids, Bark is for the entire family. It's not a per child or per device fee, which is the case for a lot of the other monitoring softwares.
Right. And we won't do a full demo here today, but we made it super easy. If you want more information on Bark, you can go to our website, ykc.com /Bark, and we'll send you a series of emails to walk you through the setup process. It's very simple. The good thing about getting Bark from YK is that if you run into any problems, we're here to help. We're here to point you in the right direction to get support when you need it. And it's always very, very easy to get anything resolved if you need any help.
Yeah. All right, so that kind of covers Experience IQ and Bark, some of the tools that we have. Let's talk a little bit about smart digital parenting tips. So the tools are great, but really they're not going to work that well unless you pair it up with good parenting. Just some examples of some of the things that are in effect at my house, and just want to share with everyone here is a family tech contract. That is basically a contract that specifies everything that are kind of the rules around using those devices and technology at your house. I'm actually, Liz, I'm going to drop a copy of the family technology contract that I use in my house into the chat so that anyone can download. It's a Microsoft Word document so that you can customize that. But that's the actual document that we use, and it covers everything from where devices are allowed, what time the day devices are allowed, screen limits, what expectations are for taking care of those devices, what's going to happen if you don't follow the rules. And one of the things that I was listening on a parenting podcast not too long ago was saying is when you give a child that device, that's the point where like you have the most power as a parent because they want that device. They don't care the rules that come with it. They want that phone, they want that iPad. And so having that discussion around the technology contract and getting them to sign it before you put the device in their hands is always the best time to do that. Because once you start bending those rules and kind of giving that leeway, you're never going to get that back as a parent. So really recommend that you get that technology contract in place before you do those devices. My kids don't know it yet. They don't have phones. They have tablets. They're getting phones this summer. If you're listening and you know my kids, don't tell them that. It's still a surprise. But the contracts are in place so that we can have those conversations and sign those documents before they get those devices so that they know the rules up front. Second, and it's part of that actual contract, are no phone zones. For us at the house, no phone zones are bedrooms and dinner table. When we're doing dinner table, it's family time. We usually, that's a great time to do board games or just family discussions, kind of talk about everybody's day, but we really try to limit devices at the dinner table. And for obvious reasons, behind closed doors in bedrooms, we like to be able to keep an idea of what's going on, what the kids are doing on their devices. And that's all a part of that contract. Third, and I think probably one of the most important and probably the hardest one to follow, is just model healthy tech habits. Don't text while you're driving. Don't scroll at the dinner table if you're asking your kids not to. All of those things, how you want your kids to embrace that technology and then behave around it. Try to set that example. It's hard sometimes, but it's the best way. It's hard to tell your kids one thing and then you're sitting there doing the complete opposite of what you're telling them. So yeah, good practice there. I'm no tech expert, but I'm a parent. I do enjoy technology. I always find that just having conversations with them, ask them, what apps are you using? Who are you gaming with? Sit down with them and have those conversations. I know for us, the kids can't download an app until I approve it. So I kind of have that level of control there. But, I will say, when we were talking about things that you learned in COVID, I know, Liz, a lot of people like learned to play a new instrument or, I don't know, took up pottery or a new language or things like that during COVID when we were all quarantined. And I always say the thing that I learned to do during COVID was play Fortnite. And I swore I'd never play the game, but it was an opportunity for me to spend time with both of my kids. And my daughter doesn't play Fortnite as much anymore, but my son does. And it's amazing when you sit down and you play that side by side and, you're playing the game, but you still get to work a little bit of conversation in there as far as how was your day? How were things at school? Who did you hang out with at lunch? And it's that conversation just kind of flows even though you're in the middle of a game. So, find an opportunity to use technology as a way to bond with your kid and start some conversations there. And just showing an interest in what they're doing is going to go a really long way. Do you play Fortnite, Liv?
Definitely. I do not. I do not have not started playing Fortnite yet.
It will take your anxiety level from here up to here, or at least it does for me. So let's jump into our second poll question for today. Jump back here. And so for our second poll question, we're going to talk about how confident do you feel about managing your child's online activity this summer? Is it something that you're really confident? You feel like let's see. That is the wrong poll. I'm going to stop that one. And let me launch the right one. There we go. So are you feeling pretty confident and you've got a plan for monitoring that online activity this summer? Maybe you're somewhat confident and you're going to take a few things away from here and learn a few more things to get ready for this summer, or maybe you're not feeling very confident, it's hard to keep up, or maybe you're just not feeling confident at all, and kind of need help from the ground up for all the tools and tricks. And maybe you don't have kids, but you just want to stay informed from maybe family members, friends, maybe you're a teacher, work at a school, and just trying to stay on top of that type of technology. Give it just a second here. We still have a few more people responding. All right, let's close it out, Liz, and see what we've got. So everybody's feeling pretty good. We've got 48% that feel like they've got a plan and know how they're going to handle it this summer. 30% saying that they're somewhat confident, trying to stay on top of it. 9 are not feeling very confident. It's hard to keep up. And we've got, and 9% also are not confident at all. So hopefully some of the information that you'll take away here from today will kind of help you get ready for the summer, because we're 2 weeks away from the kids getting out of school is?
Yep. I think under 2 weeks at this point.
Yeah.
For some schools.
Yeah. It's here.
For sure.
So before we talk about support, or I'm just jumping all over the place. Liz, you want to talk a little bit about Summer Without Screens?
Of course. So, um, we're going to talk a little bit about what kids can do besides being on their phones and tablets over the summer. So, we did create a YK summer bucket list. It has over 20 screen free ideas, and we will drop that into the chat so that anybody can download it. There's a lot of different things on that list that we will go over with you, just a few of them to kind of, break away from those phones and tablets for a day or two.
Yeah, some of the ones that we've tried out, and I've heard other people talking about the backyard campouts. I think with everybody having access to the projectors at a decent price, it's easy to throw a movie up on a fence or the side of the house. Pop up a tent in the backyard, get some sleeping bags, and just kind of make a fun night out of it in the backyard, bringing some technology outside into that space. Water balloon trivia games. Obviously something that's an outdoor activity. Don't want to do that in the living room. But you can use the internet or even Chat GPT to come up with a list of trivia questions. You can even pick a theme. Like for us, we're big Disney fans. You can do Disney trivia. If you miss the question, you get a water balloon thrown at you. If you get it right, you get to throw it at someone. But board games are big at our house. We're kind of a fan of Trouble and Uno, I think, are some of the favorites. You got a favorite one, Liz, from back in the day?
Yeah, I'd say we still play Uno a lot. Play
Yeah.
Uno, and I think there was a board game. It was called Sorry. It has the little where you move the little pegs. We used to play that a lot
Yeah.
too.
We do Trouble, and it's a lot like Sorry, but it's got the dice kind of in that bubble in the middle. You don't have to keep up with as many pieces.
Uh-huh.
So board games are really good. You can try something like a No Tech Tuesday. If it's something that, hey, we're going to pick that on Tuesday, we're going to really try to limit technology as much as possible. And then the other thing you can do, just scavenger hunts and things like that. But that list that Liz was talking about and we shared in the chat is a great way to, kind of get some ideas flowing on some things to do that don't involve technology.
Right. And kids don't always know what else to do. So sometimes you have to have a list of options to help them, kind of pick through to plan those activities for sure.
Right. There's lots of things on online as well for resources and things like that to get ideas. So we'll just hope to get you started there with, I think we've got 20 on there to get you started.
Mhm.
All right. So Liz, if you'll talk to us a little bit about support on Bark, Experience IQ, or anything that you need from us at YK.
Sure. So here at YK, we have a few different options to reach us for support. Number one, you can always call us. We're available 24 by 7, 365 days a year at our number 361-771-3334. You can also always go to our website, ykc.com. Under the contact us section, you'll find our network status page link and also our live support chat. So you can reach out to us live through the chat, and someone will follow back up with you and help you out.
Great. And time for Q&A. If anyone has questions, you can drop those into the chat or the Q&A box. Liz and I are happy to answer that. And while we wait to see if there are any questions come in, why don't you give us a little recap, Liz?
Sure. So just to recap what we've talked about today, we've talked about Experience IQ. It's the feature that kind of keeps kids safe, and it has those limits for when you're at home on your home network. Bark covers any device anywhere. Normally $14 a month, but you will be able to utilize this webinar today to get up to 3 months free of Bark. So that's great. You just go online and sign up. You can go to ykc.com/bark for that. We will be giving away a gift card to one lucky winner here soon. And again, support is always available anytime at ykc.com or 361-771-3334.
Awesome. All right, so it looks like we have one question that has come in. There's a question, $14 a month. Is there a limit to the devices? No, $14 a month is for the account and for the whole family. That covers multiple children, multiple devices. You can load that up as many devices as you can put on that. So $14 is for the whole family, the whole household for a month. And as far as question, how many devices can you set up? It's an unlimited amount of devices. You set that up for each child in the house, and then you add devices under that. So the profiles follow the child. You can set different ages, content restrictions, screen times, that sort of a thing, and then you load all of their devices under that individual child. And I think that's all the questions that we've got, Liz. So what do you say we get over to our, yeah, we definitely want to talk about our next event, and we're going to talk about gaming for June. So come back and join us on June the 12th at lunch, and we're going to talk about making sure that you've got everything you need for the ultimate gaming experience. And if you want to sign up for those, we'll be posting them on social media, sending out emails, but you can always go to ykc.com/connect-protect. To sign up those and to go check out any of the recorded versions of these that you've missed in the past. All right, Liz, what do you say we draw for the gift card?
Sounds great.
And I've got a $20 gift card for lunch on us at Jackson Street Coffee and Market. And let's spin the wheel here, Liz.
All right. Let's see
And
here.
looks like our winner is going to be Ashley. So Ashley, give us a call, come by the office, and we are happy to hook you up with your gift card for lunch on us. And just a big thank you to everyone today. We know your time is valuable. It means a lot that you chose to spend it with us here at lunch. And anything that we can do to help you guys protect the ones that you love, feel free to reach out at any point in time.
Right. And be sure to sign up for our next web for Bark if you're interested at ykc.com/bark. You have until the end of May to get your 3-month free trial started. So make sure you follow along with the chat, and you can see our links for the summer bucket list as well. And don't forget, you can reach out to us anytime.
That's right. So thanks for joining us, everyone. We'll see you next time in June. But thanks for meeting with us on Family Tech Time. Stay safe and stay connected.